Good morning, everyone. Hi, I hope you all, those of you who are here in person today, had a great day in Baltimore or a great evening in Baltimore yesterday. I know several of us went out and had some Maryland crab cakes, and I have to say, or Maryland seafood, and I have to say it was awesome. So welcome back to day 2 of the SNF QRP provider training. Of course, the focus today will be on the patient-driven payment model. Welcome to those in person and those joining us online. My name is Bridget Vincent, and I'll be your MC today. So we're just going to go over a couple things today, and I only have 15 minutes, and then I'll be turning the mic over to my colleague, Terry Mata. So again, a few housekeeping items for those who are here on site. If you need to use restrooms and you weren't here yesterday, they're located outside of these doors. Turn to the left, go to the end of the hallway, go down the hallway. You'll come to a sort of a lobby area on the left-hand side. Turn left, go through the lobby area, and the restrooms are located towards the back just before you get to the elevators. There are additional restrooms downstairs. If you go a little bit further beyond the elevators, there's a staircase, and right at the base of that staircase, there are additional restrooms. Okay, next, for those again joining us here on site, there is a Wi-Fi available. The name of the network is Four Seasons Meeting, and the password is CMS. Couple other housekeeping items. Some of us are wearing yellow shirts. Myself, Ephraim at the back. I think Nicole is wearing a yellow dress at the registration area, as is Sharon Purcell. We are definitely here to help you, so if you have any questions or you need anything, if we can do anything to make you more comfortable, please let us know. We want this to be a great experience for all of you. Additionally, there is a table located right over there to the left of me on the far left-hand side. It has a reserved sign on it, but that is for those who may have difficulty hearing and need closed captioning. We have a wonderful closed captionist, Carmen, who I don't know how she does it, but no matter how fast our presenters speak, she seems to be able to get every word. So please take advantage of that if you need it. Additionally, I did want to mention, yesterday we put out tabletop materials that were intended to be here for both days. There were 2 handouts that were particularly important and will be used during the case study this afternoon. So if you did pick them up and take them with you, if you could pull them back out and share them with your table mates. One is called the PDPM Fact Sheet SNF Classification Walkthrough, and the other is called the Integrated Coding and PDPM Case Study HIPS Information Sheet. And you won't use them until this afternoon, but if you happen to have taken them with you last night, please do pull them out and share them, or if you have someone at your table who can access them online, that would be wonderful. And just a couple points of clarification, and I'm going to go ahead and advance my slide deck. Couple points of clarification that I did want to mention. We do have the materials, so I was looking at some of the questions that came in yesterday. I did want to reiterate that the materials, the presentations, without answers, and again, we won't provide the answers until in the materials until after the session, because our presenters actually use that information to gauge how well they're communicating what they're intending. And if you're all not answering what they think you would be answering or the correct answer, they'll spend a little more time elaborating on those points. But the presentations without the answers are located on the SNF QRP training webpage. They're in the downloads section. There was a link also to something called the Event Hub that went out with the instructions for participation, and that has an online agenda. And if you scroll down, because I had to see it with one person on the phone, you have to scroll down quite a ways to get to that online agenda. But within each agenda item, you'll see a little picture of the presenter, you'll see the name of the session and the time. There are also a series or a series of blue dots. If you click on any of those blue dots, it'll automatically open up the presentation for you or any of the related collateral material. And for those in the room, you received packets. Those packets, each of the items in the packet has a number on it. Those numbers generally correspond to the numbers on the information on the online agenda. So if the presenter says, for example, look at 1A or 1B, 1A or 1B, I believe that's the agenda. Those who received it in person, just in the packet, it's referred to as number 1, both pages. So hopefully that's clear. Again, if you need help accessing materials, please don't hesitate to flag one of us in yellow down. So the agenda items that we're going to cover today primarily are the sections A, I, J, and O updates, and presenting on that will be Terry Mata. And then we'll have John Kane present on the patient-driven payment model, what's changing and what is not. And then both Jen Pettis, who presented yesterday, and John Kane will be facilitating the integrated coding and PDPM case study. And that's where you all get to apply the information that you learned yesterday and today to a specific real-life patient scenario, just to make sure that everything is coming across and you have an opportunity to learn how to apply the coding in a safe environment. And then we'll have a question and answer session, and that will conclude the official portion of today's training. But then our colleagues from CMS MITRE will be facilitating a We Want to Hear From You session, and that's where CMS really wants to hear from you about the SNF quality reporting program, how it's working for you, any issues or concerns that you might have. And that session is available to those in the room. And it's a lively session. The facilitator will be walking around the room, will be encouraging you to verbally respond in the room, but those who are online can still respond to the same questions and provide input via Slido. So I'm just going to quickly reintroduce our presenters. Terry Mata, of course, was presenting yesterday on the changes to the RAI manual in the MDS. And Terry is an associate scientist and nurse researcher at Apt Associates. Prior to her current position, Terry worked for CMS as a post-acute care subject matter expert in quality measures and standardized data assessment guidance or development, guidance manual development, data standardization, rule writing across post-acute care settings, and helped stand up the SNF QRP. Joining Terry, or after Terry, following Terry, will be John Kane. And John is a technical advisor and the SNF payment team lead in the Division of Institutional Post-Acute Care at CMS. He leads the SNF payment team in evaluating and developing SNF payment policy, including development and implementation of the patient-driven payment model. John also works across cross-component projects with CMS, intersecting different areas of Medicaid payment policy. And joining him in the case study will be Jen Pettis. Jen is a consultant with Econometrica and also an associate director of the long-term care program for Nurses Improving Care for Health System Elders, or NICHE, at the New York University Myers College of Nursing. Previously, as a nurse researcher at Apt Associates, Ms. Pettis participated in data collection, analysis, and reporting of healthcare payment, quality improvement, and quality reporting initiatives, and provided technical assistance and training through a variety of post-acute care projects. So we truly are blessed to have such a wonderful set of colleagues who are presenting today. Again, we do have a few acronyms that I've probably already used and that will be used in this presentation. One of the handouts that you received or that are available online are a list of the acronyms that are used in throughout all of the presentations, so you do have one handy reference sheet if you need it. A little general information, all of the materials, again, are posted on the SNF QRP training webpage. The video recordings of today's and yesterday's presentations will be available on the CMS YouTube site. A link will also be on that SNF QRP training webpage. And then certificates of completion will be available to anyone who participates in person. And then for those who are participating online, if you respond to 80% of the polling questions for yesterday and today, you will receive a certificate of completion. And those will come via email. And while we do not offer continuing education units, I know some of you may be interested in that. Often if you take that certificate of completion and the agenda and provide it to your professional association, they may offer you or allow you to use that for continuing education units that they would provide. So now we're just going to test out Slido again. Again, you want to go to www.slido.com on your phones or on your laptops. And this is going to be your way of giving the providers feedback about their presentations by responding to polling slides and also submitting questions that you would like our presenters to address towards the end of today's presentation. When you get there, please type in the word econometrica. It's ECONOMETRICA. And for those in the room, if you could let me know when you're there. I'm seeing some hands go up. I'll wait a few more seconds for our colleagues online to join us because they are about 6 seconds behind us. You'll see across the top, as people may be finishing up logging in, there are links to questions, ideas, and polls. So when you want to submit a question, you click on questions, and that'll get you to the questions screen. When you want to click on polls to respond to a knowledge check, click on polls. I think those automatically sort of come up for you, though. So let's go ahead and give it a try. First question, how energized are you feeling this morning? Are you super energized? Are you, I'm feeling pretty good energized for B? Are you kind of warming up for C? And did you need that coffee in hand for D? Whoa, people are being pretty honest. I know I needed my coffee. Okay, well good, that was a good one. So we'll try another one. What school of healthcare was first established in Baltimore in 1840? Was it A, nursing, B, chiropractic, C, dentistry, or D, laser eye surgery? Well, it looks like nursing and dentistry are sort of having are neck and neck. I see we've got about 250 climbing up to 300 people responding. I'm going to give it just another second or two because I know we had about 370 people or 400 people participating yesterday. Well, let's go ahead and see what the correct answer is. And the correct answer is C, dentistry. So, darn for nursing. Okay, going on to the next question. Which of the following is a slogan associated with Baltimore? A, Charm City, B, Crabtown, C, the Clipper City, or D, all of the above? Okay. I think I'd like to be known as Charm City. Wouldn't that be great? City of Charm. Okay, well, let us see what the correct answer is. And the correct answer was all of the above. Okay. And I'm going to actually skip the next question because we're running a little short on time. I do want to get to asking questions. Again, how many of you see the initial instead of that little head and shoulders in the upper right-hand corner? Okay, if you don't, it's important that you set up your profile really quickly. So you would just click on that little icon, enter your name and your email address, and then click Submit. And it's important that you do that for two reasons. One, for those who are online and wanting to get credit for today's presentation in terms of getting a certificate of completion. We can't give you credit if we don't know who you are. So we definitely need you to participate. And then B, for those in the room, it's important because sometimes as we're answering those questions, we may need to follow up with you because we're not clear of what the question is, and we can't do that unless we know who you are. So everybody have their profile set up? Okay, again, to submit a question, and we're not going to do this at the moment, you would just click on that Questions tab, type away. Only thing that's important there, we ask that you try and wait towards the end of a presentation to submit questions, just so that we're not getting a lot of questions that might be answered in the presentation. Makes it sort of difficult for us to filter through a lot, and try and get as many answered at the end of today's session as possible. Secondly, if you see a question that's similar to one that you thought you might be wanting to enter, click like. That way I'll get a lot of votes, and those are the ones we're going to answer first. So the most liked questions are the ones that the presenters are going to respond to, because those seem to be the most important to everyone in the room. So we talked about upvoting. Again, I just encourage you to use your action plans to record any ideas you have for implementing when you go back to your facilities. It'll be your roadmap for moving forward. And with that, I think I'm going to be turning it over to Terry. So thank you very much, and I'll be checking back with you a little bit later.